Alright, the Umbrella Academy Season 3 debuted this year. I already have a review for Season 1, but with everything that's been coming out, and especially with me finishing it in October, where I was trying to catch up on my Halloween special, I didn't get to review Season 2. So in today's video, I am going to be reviewing Seasons 2 and 3 in the same video. I know what you're thinking. Oh, this is gonna suck. He's just gonna shortcut over the one he doesn't like and talk about the one he does like I do in a lot of the videos I do. Nope, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that here. I'm going to spend time on both of these seasons because for the Umbrella Academy, this is my favorite show of all time. I enjoyed all 3 seasons. I will have a seasons ranking coming out next week probably, but I like both seasons. I enjoy this whole show. I'm going to spend time on each of the seasons, the time that they each deserve, even though it will be easy to muddle it together. You will hear me say the same things a lot because both of the seasons have their same common goals here, but that's the price you have to pay for getting to hear my opinions on both of them. But before I do that, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, comment down below your opinions on Umbrella Academy Seasons 2 and 3, and make sure to always stay tuned for my ranking of the seasons, because this is a very good show, and each of the seasons are incredibly different from one another, so you're basically comparing and contrasting 3 completely different things that don't even feel alike, just with the same characters. That'll be a very fun ranking. And with that said, we're talking about Season 2 first. One of these seasons is better than the other, of course, and that season is Season 2. I definitely enjoyed Season 2 better. I'm going to start off, actually, by talking about the positives that both seasons have. First off, the cast and the performances by everyone here. They all have their characters, and they all go through interesting, what's the word here? They all go through interesting character development throughout the entire show. Some worse than others, talking about you, Allison. Some better than others, and they all got something interesting here to make me laugh, to make me cry, to make me smile. I loved all of these characters. They're all performed excellently. I know Season 4 will be the last season, but I want spin-offs for all of these characters because it feels like I've been with these characters for years. It feels like this is my family, and that's exactly what a show's supposed to do, is make you love these characters. That's what Netflix shows do really well, and they 100% nail it with the Umbrella Academy with these 2 seasons, even though they both felt very different from the perfect Umbrella Academy Season 1. The characters here, they didn't really feel the same. They all had their character development, but they all were good here, and especially Diego in like Seasons 2 and 3, he felt like a completely different character than he did in Season 1. I'm not complaining though, because it was the Diego I grew to love. The new characters like Lila, they're all here great, all perfectly, and that's the main thing that I compare to each of them, each of the 2 seasons here. We're going to talk individually about Season 2 now, and individually with the character development that we were just talking about. We're going to talk about the character development for these characters, and let's go down a list. I don't remember Luther's in Season 2. Luther's was like, oh, I love Allison. Allison's married now. I don't really like that. I think that was what the most of his character development was. I don't really remember. Diego's was he wants to stop his father for murdering the president, and that was pretty interesting, and his interactions with Lila in the season really great. Klaus's was that he started a cult, and he felt really weird, but that's exactly how Klaus is supposed to feel. Klaus, best character of the series. Season 2, she got married, she got happy, she was an interesting character, she even had a start of her dark side here. That was interesting. And Vanya, and you're gonna hear me call her Vanya in Season 2 because I don't care about Victor or whatever she wants to call herself. Hers here was obviously the most interesting of them all. I'm kidding, of course. Hers wasn't that interesting. She just basically almost destroyed the planet and then destroyed a happy marriage between this one guy who, oh, he's such a bad guy, he just wants his wife and family back. She's kind of a bad person. Yeah, Vanya's really bad person. But she was interesting enough, and when we get some suspense with the husband and all them, that's really all interesting here too. The action sequences, obviously, great. We get much more villains here, and the stakes, I feel, are the biggest out of all of them because you get these three brothers that are trying to go kill the group, but you also get the time area, and you get scenes where Five is going to kill these bad guys, and all that is very, very interesting. And like the finale here, you got the biggest stakes because they carry on all of these different people from all of the timelines just to go kill the Umbrella Academy, and it all has the most stakes, it all has the most interesting aspects of it. I feel like this is the season that really gets these stakes high and gets them to be the most entertaining. CGI here, I feel, is the best out of all the seasons. Season 3 CGI is god-awful. This one, not that bad. Overall, this is a really good season. I really enjoyed this season. There's not really much to talk about besides the stakes are bigger. It's perfectly written, just like normal. It starts out weird. I was like, I'm not really that big of a fan of it when the season first started. Then it got better. It's very different from this first season. It's still really great. The writing is great. The action is great. The characters are great. And it just feels like another season with some of the best characters ever put to screen. I loved it. For the Umbrella Academy Season 2, I'm going to give Season 2, it's going lower. It's not going to be an A+. I'm going to give it an A-. This season is much better than Season 3. It's second in my ranking, spoiling it right there. It's flat in the middle because it's not as good as Season 1, but it's better than Season 3. It's got stakes. It's interesting. It's probably a season that actually would probably be easier to rewatch than any of the other seasons. It's not perfect, but it's a season with the most interesting everything that I enjoyed watching. It's a great season. A- for Season 2. Now we gotta talk about Season number 3. And Season number 3 is interesting. We're gonna go on to their character developments here. And we start off with Vanya is now Victor. She wants to be a man now. We are starting off great, guys. No, in all seriousness, we're not starting off great. I don't like that. It's not a good idea. I'm sorry. Anyone I offended, I'll be canceled. I don't care. It's not a great idea for this character to go trans. And then we get Diego. He's with Lila. He has a son, and now they're getting ready for a baby. That is really interesting. That is really well done. Diego and Lila always have great chemistry. Klaus, he has a relationship with his father. That was a very big highlight of this season, to where him and Reginald Hargreaves, they're getting along. They're going to do some things. It's very comedic in that aspect, and he learns to control his powers more. Allison, hers was bad. It's famous for Season 3s on Netflix to ruin the most popular female character in Cobra Kai. It was Sam, when she's just a complete jerk because she's lost everything, and I can understand that. It's better than Sam in Cobra Kai just being a complete jerk, like, oh, karate and meh. It's better than that. That was not good in Season 3 of Cobra Kai. And here, you can understand why she's doing it, but it gets really weird in some situations. She almost makes Luther do it with her, like force, and then it indicates like I don't want to say that word because I'll get demonetized, but it indicates a very weird thing that happens. And she also makes some mistakes here that really impact her character. I did not like her at all this season, and as it goes on, she gets more interesting, but it still just feels really weird, and I was like, I don't like her. I did not like her this season, and all these characters, they probably got the most least interesting out of all the seasons. Sure, Diego's and Klaus's was fun. It was great to see Sir Reginald Hargreaves in like this, like crazy like this. It was great. He was the best he's ever been. But all these other characters, not that great. Of course, we got Luther and his wedding. That was interesting. But just these characters, they're all the most least interesting that they have been all season, because they also got to combine it with the Sparrow Academy, which they all get killed off. We get Ben back. That's pretty cool. We get, what's her name? The wife to Luther now, Sloane. But they're just not balanced well enough to be great. They still feel like these favorite characters. They just feel like these characters have grown a bit not as great, and it'll definitely have something that they have to fix in Season 4, because I still like these characters. I still enjoyed a lot of them, but it also just didn't really work and didn't really mesh with what the rest of the show was. The stakes here, this is also the weirdest season because halfway through the season, the world just freaking explodes. They're stuck in this bubble. You got a mystery here, nothing we've really had before. Before, we've had a mystery on how's the world gonna end. Here, we got a mystery on, like, what's a white buffalo sweet? What is this? What is this? And it's really odd here. I like the mystery aspect, though. It's an interesting way because we get to see a bunch of things, of course, leading into Reginald Hargrave's past. That was really fun here. The thing is, it's the rest of the... what was I gonna say? The thing is, it feels like the most messy storytelling that the season could be. The rest of them are perfectly written. This one just feels like a bunch of stuff is just thrown and it's just chaotic. It's hard to like balance. Seasons 1 and 2 were perfectly balanced. This one, it just feels like it's completely bonkers, and that's fine in an aspect. It's totally intentional. You could see there's not very many plot holes. It's not like I'm watching the show and I'm like, the writing's terrible. It's still good writing. It just feels very misbalanced from what the rest of the show was. And the mystery was interesting. White Buffalo Sweet was interesting. And I loved what they did with Sir Reginald Hargraves. Thing is here, it's just the most unbalanced season out of them all. The CGI here is terrible. There's a sequence in the beginning where we're meeting the sparrows where it's just god-awful. It looks like something that I would have made on a computer as a meme. It's not good. It does not look good at all. The CGI is not good here. The action, not bad. There's some big shocking moments in the season where characters you thought you would love to know, they just die. It's really interesting in that aspect, and the action was okay. There were still some good creatures. There were the Guardians at the end of it. They were still pretty interesting. I think just my big problem with the season is that it feels unfocused. The characters aren't all the same. It just feels like it lost its footing here for a bit to end the world or whatever. But it definitely was intentional. It's just not an idea that I necessarily come out of my hole and say that I absolutely loved it. It's definitely, I would say, the least interesting way to continue the series. We do got season 4. It does start to feel a bit like, oh, the world ending constantly. I don't know how they're going to do season 4. It's still going to be good. I still enjoyed the season. It's just the one that I had the most problems with. That's why season 3 is getting a B. Now, like I said, I spent a lot of time dogging on the season. Characters, I still loved them a lot. Sure, they all go through their least interesting ways here, but I still really liked them. The action was still good. The story was still good. It just feels like chaos, and I like it in a way, but in another way, I don't like it. That was just my opinions on season 2 and 3. I will not go more in depth. I'll probably repeat the same things. You already probably know my ranking. Go check it out anyways, because I'll probably be more balanced in there, because I'm not, trying to get the video under 45 minutes. So yeah, go check that one out. Please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. What do you think of Umbrella Academy Season 2 and 3? I want to know all that more down below. I got a couple more videos coming. I got Guardians of Galaxy Holiday Special Review, and my next video will probably be Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rogic Rules. Oh yeah, we all know, the one that we've all been anticipating ever since the god-awful 2021 film. Anyways, as always, subscribe, join the Nerd Army. Peace out.